What's good with y'all, man? Happy Monday. You already know, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and drop that sub, alright? So, let's go ahead and jump into this Superman news, man. All these haters gonna be real mad about Man of Steel. So, the Daily, or no, Deadline, my bad, put out an article 8 minutes ago. Superman powers to 220 million global opening. Jurassic World Rebirth roars to 530 plus million. Lilo and Stitch soon to sue up 1 billion. WW. International box office. Monday update with actuals. DC Warner Superman flew a bit higher than the Sunday's actuals, reaching a 220 million global start. The upward shift is powered by domestic, which came in at 125 million, while the international box office take remained set in a still 95 million. That's bad. And if you know anything about the movies, the outside of the international, that's a big market right there. And especially because this movie opened up in a lot of territories. Let's see. Also, moving up from Sunday's estimates, Universal's Jurassic World Rebirth is now at 532.7 million global, with overseas topping the 3-century mark to hit 300.3 million through yesterday. Woo! Previous Sunday, Superman, the first movie in Peter Safran and James Gunn's revamped DC Studios phase, Gods and Monsters, has leaped to a 217 million global opening. That in line with a pre-weekend projection of at least 200 million yesterday. See below, we increased that to 210 mil plus range. The majority bit of business came from the domestic, as the Gunn-directed Warner Bros. Tentpole experienced some not unexpected softness in parts of Asia, while such European majors as Germany, France, and Italy, Supes landed a second-place start as Jurassic World Rebirth tugged on his cape to remain number one in the sophomore session. The international box office debut for Superman is estimated at 95 million, and that is bad. That is bad. That is bad. We have more on Superman below. In the meantime, some hot takes on other titles in the marketplace. Okay, yeah, we don't really care about that. Turning back to Superman, there are a handful of observations to be made as regards Oversiege, which are not yet clearly defined. We initially saw a 100 mil plus start, which, as noted, ended up at 95 million. Not the biggest of gaps, but why? Here are a handful of theories I've floated. Front-loading maybe Superman is just a bit too American. There was nothing super new about this movie's story. Nope. It sure wasn't. We talked about it yesterday in the spoiler review. BVS, Man of Steel. In the major DC region of Latin America, Superman was the number one movie with a 50% share and number one in the 13 markets. Mexico, which is second best international star overall behind the UK, 9.8 million, gave Superman a dominant 8.8 million number one launch, including previews. The results are 35% above Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, 61% higher than Captain America Brave New World, and 72% over Man of Steel. China was the third biggest launch market for Superman, but as I've continuously noted, we have very low number and mark there. It did 6.6 million through Sunday. There is some superheroes. I'm not a fan of the term fatigue there. Gunn and Safran went to Beijing for a premiere, though sans talent, travel still matters, but this one didn't move the needle. Brazil is a big DC market and was the fourth best starter for Clark Kent this frame at 5.9 million Supes, number one, and tracks on par with Aquaman, Joker, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3, also higher than Wonder Woman, plus 26%, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, 44%, Thunderbolts, 45%, Captain America, Brave New World, 61%, Man of Steel, 151%, and Guardians of the Galaxy, 156%. IMAX overall was 30.4 million globally, including 11.3 million coming from the international markets, representing a 12% share of the weekend's office. Here are the top 10 for Superman at open. UK, 9.8 million. Mexico, 8.8 million. China, 6.6 million. Brazil, 5.9 million. Australia, 5.3. France, 4.2. Korea, 4.2. India, 3.8. Biggest DC opening ever for India. Spain, 2.9 million. And Japan, 2.5 million. As seen As seen above, the biggest competition for Superman was Jurassic World Rebirth. The sophomore session added 68.1 million, minus 51% in 82 overseas markets. The offshore cumulative now rises to 297.3 million, with global at 529. Japan is still to release. All right, I'm not gonna read the rest of this. We know all that stuff. Yeah, okay. Listen, opening weekend, Superman did not beat Man of Steel. And the numbers aren't even adjusted for inflation, and Superman did not beat Man of Steel. So I know the haters out there that are talking crazy. Man of Steel sucks. Man of Steel this, Man of Steel that. Well, Superman didn't even beat Man of Steel's opening weekend. And this was back in 2013. Not even adjusted for inflation, it didn't even beat Man of Steel. Adjusted for inflation, no. It's crazy. Now, does that mean this movie will fall off? I don't think so. Now, I said this a couple weeks ago. After the release of Superman, that first week is going to determine what happens with this movie. If the word of mouth is good, I think the movie will make a lot of money. If the word of mouth is bad, the movie is going to drop. It's going to drop. And you also have to take into consideration, you got Jurassic World still out. You have Fantastic Four coming out here in 2 weeks. And you got, what'd you do last summer? It's a whole bunch of other movies that are coming out here soon. So you have to take all this into consideration. We will see. I'm going to stand my ground. I didn't hate Superman, but I also didn't love it. I gave it a 5 out of 10. I don't think it's going to beat Man of Steel. Overall box office. I'm going to stand on that. I don't think it's going to beat Man of Steel. Now, if it does beat Man of Steel, I'll come up like, okay, well, it did beat Man of Steel. But I don't even think it's going to beat Man of Steel. And there's a lot of other things playing in the factor, too, especially with 2013, because back then, they didn't count Thursday previews. Now you got previews for Fridays, Thursdays. You can go in at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. So it's a lot of different factors that you have to take into consideration when you compare the two movies from 10 years ago to now. So it's 12 years ago, my bad. It's a lot of things you have to take into consideration. So, with that being said, man, listen, I didn't hate Superman. I didn't love it. If you loved it, that's okay, man. Like, cool. I'm not. If you enjoy something, that's cool. Me personally, I just didn't like it that much. It didn't work for me. Too goofy, didn't work. But if it works for you, that's fine, man. You see how I can have an opinion, you can have an opinion, and we can go about our days. We ain't got to insult each other. Now, if James Gunn is really smart, he needs to unite the fans. WB, James Gunn. I don't know if you watch me, maybe. I don't know. But imagine this for 1 second, man. Imagine today you announced the return of the GOAT, Zack Snyder. He's going to finish his Justice League 1, 2, or what? All the movies he needs to finish. Man of Steel 2. Justice League 2. Do you know how much money WB would be making? Not only would you be making money, you would be uniting all the fans. All of them. You should have done this from the beginning. Found a way to unite all the fans, but with this movie, everybody's divided. That's why I don't think this movie's even going to beat Man of Steel, because everybody is divided. If everybody was moving as one unit, this movie would make more than Man of Steel. But that's not the case. You got divided fans. If you found some way, somehow, to bring all the fans together, we would support both franchises. We would support Zack's and we would support yours. But see, the backlash is, you fired Cavill, you canceled everything from Zack Snyder, and people are not rocking with it. So maybe if you made the correction, brought Zack back, let him finish his thing, it's a win-win situation if you ask me. But hey, I don't know, man. They say common sense ain't so common, but I feel like if that happened, first of all, it would break the internet. Second of all, y'all would be rolling in money. That's all. That's what it's all about, right? You want to make money. Y'all been doing bad with the movies lately. I know y'all need the money. You gotta start listening, man. Just bring back Zack, unite all the fans. we all would support. I'm telling you, if y'all just course corrected what you did in the past, it will be a lot of money made for y'all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think Superman is gonna beat Man of Steel in the box office? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will catch y'all in the next, man. 100,000 subscribers is grind time. Let's get.